Hey everyone, so we're back on the island and it's still a mess and we're gonna start doing as much as we can as quickly as we can. So before I get into anything for me, I'm just gonna talk about Tim. He's under the house right now and he is doing all the plumbing. Super awesome, super important. Need to shower, need to do the other stuff. But for me, my only job today is to get my son's room started. And that entails me finishing up a lot of the demo, so I just have a little bit of screws to remove. I have a little bit up there that I need to get done. I have to remove a little bit of insulation. And none of these 2x4s are to size, so I need to scab them out and I need to make them to 6 inches so I can get my R30 insulation in there, and then new electrical is going to go down and around. I'm going to do a whole bunch of new boxes, clean up the window, insulate, all the goodies. So without further ado, this will be part 2 of Bubba's room and maybe the girls' room, depending on how far I get today. Let's jump in before Michigan weather hits and we have a winter and no insulation. So I got everything done that I wanted to do, so the next step for me would be to take out these. Let me show you. So I need to take out these 2x4s. They are not support. All they do is for when you hang drywall. Drywall comes in 4x8 sheets, and this is where it hit, but for me, I'm going to want mine up here. Basically, I need to take out all of these, and that is not structural. And then I need to basically, when I scab everything out, I need to do the same thing up here. I need to add it back in an 8-foot section, so my 8-foot sections will go up. So when I'm doing the plaster, it's easier for me to stand and work my way down instead of trying to feather in the bottom. Otherwise, sometimes I can get like a concave. It's just easier for me to work up high than it is to work down low. I also do not want to leave it because the more wood you have in the walls, the less insulation I can get in, because wood only has a certain R value, and if I have to go around it, that takes away from efficiency, so I need to take out those boards that don't belong and then put in insulation. Okay, first little problem, but it's really not so big, and let me go over it real quick with you guys. This outlet was still live, and we only had 2 circuits open, which means it's on the 2 circuits we were using, and I did not expect this one in the weirdest corner of the house to be on the front of the house. So that means I have to go under the house, trace it down below. I know it comes into here and goes straight down below. I'm not going to take you guys in the basement because it's dark and dirty, so I'm just going to go down there, cap it in a junction box until we need it later, but we're going to redo all the electrical, so right now it's just to get it somewhere safe and out of the way. I guess the funnest part about doing electrical is trying to figure out what people did and why. So it was really gross, but I'm pretty positive that the other plug that was here went down under the floor, traveled through the joist, and it pops up here at another outlet. So I found it, which is awesome. It's right here behind where all of my insulation was stacked up here. And even if I have the power off to the circuit, I never ever don't test it. It's good. Pro tip, you don't want to get zapped. One of my biggest pet peeves of old houses is this. It's not secured to anything. Well, that answers. Okay, so the nice thing is now I know this is power coming in, and this is power going out to other things. So this one was going out to the other outlets, this one's going somewhere else, and this one's going somewhere else. But this is power in, and I didn't know what it was when I was looking down there, but that's what it is, and that's good to know because I cut it, and that means I can trace this back to the panel, and everything else behind it will be deleted. so I'm not worried about the hole I just put in the wall here, because very soon this section all the way to here on the other side is where our living room's going to be, and that's where our fireplace insert's going to go. So all of that wall section is going to be taken out, so it can be ugly for now as long as we get it done later. Back under the house I go to trace it under the panel. Gotta love old electrical off that main run I was chasing. Just random outlet. I do understand that electrical was an afterthought in this house. It was built so long ago that it wasn't even a thought or a process. The walls weren't built for it. Nothing was. However, finding old things like that can burn down a house very easily just make me chuckle. It make me laugh, and it's not funny. I don't know why I laugh, but I do. So I traced it all the way back to the panel though, and Tim is going to just take it out for me later. I don't want to work on top of him. He's still down there working on plumbing, and that's going to be an event all day. And I'm just going to keep chugging along with what I was doing. So I hung my string line all the way here. I already put a board there. Doesn't really matter. So now I'm just going to take it down for the time being and then put all my boards up and make sure that they're all good. I cut them all, ripped them all to size, so they really shouldn't be off. So now I'm just going to go out and rip the rest of the boards, and then I'll put them up in a minute. Oh, and I'll set up the air compressor, but you guys don't want to see that. I got derailed for a second because I needed to put a new piece in under our sill plate and then spray foam it with our little foaming stuff so that there's no air getting in, and I can't tuck enough insulation under there for it to even be effective. So let me show you what that looks like. This is under my window, and you don't want a huge gap there, so I'm going to foam it in right now. And then I just folded it over, so I'm going to use it again, but I just foamed everything, and it's going to keep expanding, so I need to put in my board real quick. So I got the windowsill much more, can't tell, but I have wedges under here to make sure this stays level because it was tilting down quite a bit. So now this is all level, which is really nice, and this is built out to the thickness of what the walls are going to be in, so we're adding quite a bit of thickness, obviously. But you can tell just how out everything is. I mean, the house is over 100 years old, obviously. With a house this old, you're gonna have problems, and that's just one of them, and it was an easy fix. Okay, so I got the main parts done, which is really nice. I'm sweating because I have to keep going up and down the ladder because I forget something. But I said I got the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then my bottom plate. So now I need a top, and I need a top to go across everything, and then I need 2 here. And then I can start electrical, but I think I'm going to stop for a minute. I have to make dinner for everybody. It's 5 on our time. And we'll see if I can make dinner and then catch back up. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, it's getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm getting a little bit done. However, I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on, and I'll try to explain it as best as possible. So I'm almost done scabbing up the wall, but as you can see, I have a line that's dark, like thicker here, and then goes down to 0. Well, the problem is, obviously the wall gets bigger and smaller in some places. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make up that difference so that when I go and do plaster or drywall or whatever, I don't have cracking or issues or bubbling and whatever. Trying to get all of this out of the way. So I've had to do this on almost every single board that I had to add in later, and making sure that everything kind of lines up. So that's what's taking me a little bit of time because I have to rip everything down to size. But even then, I'm really close. These are my last 2 pieces. Here goes the last 2. I'll tell you what, using a phone and a nail gun at the same time is not easy. Would not recommend. Well, I'm done for now. I don't really have much left to do. Those ones up there don't matter. It's not structural. It's not holding anything. It just needs to have drywall touching it. and I can have that big of gaps between where my screws are going to land. It's really not a big deal. No problem. Plus I'm going to have blocking at 8 feet up, probably right around in that area actually, but I have to wait until I tear out another wall to get a little bit more material, and it's just not the time or the time of day. Ain't no way I got time for that right now. No, and I need water, I need a break. Okay, well, day 1 of framing Bubba's room is done. Day 2 is a whole lot more, so stay tuned. Well, I lied. Tim got back from scouting and he was like, nah, it's okay, I got you. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna do it real quick and we're gonna get it done because I know it's gonna bother you if we don't. So he came in and helped me do all the bottom pieces and all my top pieces, which was really nice. But while he was doing all that, I decided to spray foam everything. So everything is now foamed in and ready for regular installation, which I can start tomorrow. But it's so nice because that bay right here, I thought it was a solid 2x4 and it's not. I don't know what it is, but there's a huge air gap, which was bummy, but I'm glad I filled it up. So now really good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.